Okay, we're going to cover a series of sweeps here. The first one, what as I call, is seatbelt out the back. So again, I get into my half guard position. I've got my arm in nice and deep, holding him here. I've got my seatbelt on high. One of the first things I always like to do in this deep position is constantly offset my opponent. And it's just little things to offset his balance. I think of it as a jab in a boxing match. So what I do is, I never maniacally lock this leg here. This leg is always active. This is sort of my rudder back here. Very important. As long as this leg hangs over Brian's back leg, I'm golden. If I get lazy and I come here with it, he's gonna pass, step over, all right, and then I have other issues. But this is always staying here, and this is my steering mechanism for adjusting my hips under or out. The second thing I do is this hand. I like to come here, and I like to off-balance my partner when I do these sets of sweeps. So I'll take his base out from underneath him. That breaks his base. Sometimes he'll mark this arm and come back in, right? And he does that, I come back underneath. No worries, this foot goes back down on the mat. I create space, I push him out. Now, as I push him out here, for this first one, I push out, I keep my seatbelt, and I come up to an elbow. Come right up to an elbow here. At this point, Brian can put in a whizzer on this position, but for this one, he's not gonna put the whizzer in. He's just gonna stay around my back. As I do that, my hand goes on the mat, I post up, and I move into him, walking around his back, this leg around his back, and I come here on the sweep. Okay, let me show that again. We're here, underneath, high, seatbelt, little space, push out the leg. This creates a little space for me. This goes down, I come up on my knee. At this point, I move into him, and I basically bull rush him into my sweep. Okay? Now, if Brian puts in his whizzer, again, I'm here, I'm here. My control's here. Handle, space, break his balance a little bit. Brian knows here that he should put a whizzer in. He drops that in. What that does is makes it difficult for me, and he's putting pressure, he's putting pressure down on my shoulder. In that instance, I still come up on my arm, and I dead arm and swing over. Watch what I mean by dead arm. I go limp with this left arm, and I swing it, whip it out, come over to back position. And my right hook is already in. One more time. Here, underneath, seatbelt, create a little space, push it out. I come up, he's got the whizzer in, he's putting down pressure on me for the whizzer to be effective. I go dead arm. I don't pull it out. Instead, I just relax my shoulder and I swing it out. Boom. And I go to my back. Third position in this series. Again, I start here, high on the seatbelt, push out the knee. At this point, I come up, Brian puts the whizzer in, and now he starts putting pressure into me to keep me down. This hand here is going to slide underneath his leg, and my hips are going to move across the fall line. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now there's a subtlety happening here. When I come here and here, he puts in the whizzer. I don't just reach and try and pull Brian up. I come up, I put pressure on him. He puts pressure back against me. It's like a Three Stooges movie. You know when they open up the door? When the guy's pressing on it? And that's what he's doing. Brian's pushing, I'm resisting, and all I do is slide underneath, and my hips go across the center line. And he sweeps himself. So those are your 3 sweeps from the seatbelt position.